Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Surya Raut and today we are going to discuss the ISAT practice test series 2 and this is for class 8, okay, and we will be looking at the biology questions today, okay. So let us look at the first question. It's a very simple question. Intracellular digestion occurs in, okay. So as we know that intracellular means the digestion should be taking place inside the cell. It is not outside the cell, okay. So this is digestion taking place inside cell, okay. So that is what is called as intracellular digestion. As we know that digestion in all mammals, especially human being, okay, so there are some choices given here. Amoeba, which is a unicellular organism. There are some multicellular organisms also given in the choice: human, tiger and cow. So all these three organisms, human, tiger as well as cows, they have the alimentary canal, okay, and the digestion takes place inside the alimentary canal itself, okay. What happens there? Suppose this is the digestive tract, okay. The enzymes are secreted into the digestive tract. They mix, the enzymes, they mix with the food materials. Suppose these are the food materials here and the digestion takes place here. So here it is taking place outside the cell, not inside the cell, okay. So this is an extracellular space and in which the digestion occurs. So therefore, where digestion taking place inside the alimentary canal, it cannot be intracellular digestion, okay. It is going to be extracellular digestion. Whereas in case of amoeba, what happens? This is a single cellular organism or unicellular organism. So the food is captured with the help of pseudopodia, okay. Then through endocytosis, that means the food material is getting into the cell, okay, it is getting inside the cell and the process is called as endocytosis. And in that process what happens, you see, okay, so as the food material is getting inside the cell and that forms a food vacuole, okay, and the food vacuole here, this is the food vacuole. The food vacuole will now fuse with the lysosomes, okay. So food vacuoles will fuse with the lysosomes and that will form a structure called as phagolysosome, and then the food material is getting digested. And where is the digestion taking place? The digestion is taking place inside the cell. So that is why it is going to be called as intracellular digestion. So therefore the correct answer for this question is going to be amoeba, okay, the option A. So let's move ahead to the next question. Food is captured in amoeba by what? Okay, so we have already discussed the process, okay. Pseudopodia, vacuole, cell wall, enzymes present in the cell, okay. So if we look at the options, first of all, cell wall is not going to be the option because amoeba doesn't contain cell wall. The outer covering of amoeba is just a plasma membrane, so there is no cell wall. So this option is going to be cancelled out, okay. This option doesn't hold true. Enzymes present in the cell, they are responsible for digestion of the food. They are not responsible for capturing of the food. So this option is also not correct. Vacuole, when the food is captured, then when it is getting engulfed into the cell, that during that time it produces food vacuole, but food vacuole doesn't capture the food as it is, okay. So this is also not correct. Now question, the last one is the pseudopodia. Pseudopodia is called, pseudo means false, podia means fit. So these are some false feet which is emerged due to the extension of the plasma membrane, and that helps in the capture of the food. So if you will go to the above picture, if you see here, so these structures which are created here, these structures, okay, these structures especially, okay. So these structures, these are the extension of the plasma membrane, and these structures are called as pseudopodia, and this is helping in the capture of the food, and the process in which the food get inside the cell is called as endocytosis. Okay, so the correct option for this question is going to be pseudopodia. So let's move ahead to the next question. Bile juice is stored in. So this is a very straightforward question. No need to think a lot about it, okay, before answering, okay. As we know that bile is produced by the largest gland of our body, which is the liver, okay, and temporarily this bile juice gets into the gallbladder where it is stored before it is being delivered into the small intestine, and where it helps in the process of digestion. Bile juice actually, which is secreted by the liver, it is secreted by the liver and it is stored in gallbladder. So the question that has been asked here, okay, where it is stored, not where it is produced. If it would have been asked that where it is produced, then the correct answer is liver. But as it has been asked that where it is stored, so therefore the correct answer is going to be gallbladder, okay. And just I'll explain you what does the bile juice does inside the cell, okay. What it does, actually it helps to emulsify the fat. It is not actually enzyme which is digesting any of the complex macromolecules like sugar, proteins or fats. What actually it does, it actually helps to emulsify the fat, mix into smaller droplets, okay. The fat is, suppose this is a bigger fat molecule. So if it is a bigger fat molecule, this fat molecule will be converted into smaller droplets, okay. As it would be converted into smaller droplets, then the enzymatic action on these droplets could be enhanced, right? And that is what is the function of the bile juice. It helps to enhance the action of lipase, which works on the fat. It doesn't necessarily helps in actually digesting the fat. Okay, so let's go to the next question. The largest gland of the human body that we have already discussed, okay, it is the liver, and which produces the bile juice, okay, and that bile juice helps in the emulsification of fat and therefore the digestion of the fat. So the answer is going to be liver for this question. Let's move to the next question. Okay, which of the below organism is helpful for biological nitrogen fixation? Okay, yeast, amoeba, rhizobium and E. coli. Okay, as we know that the atmospheric nitrogen which is present is in the form of N2 nitrogen cannot be directly utilized by plants, because this nitrogen is present by, is held together by 3 hydrogen bonds, okay, 3 covalent bonds, sorry. Okay, so as it is a very strong bond, okay, so therefore it is difficult to break that bond and for to be utilized by the human, by any living organism, any other organism. So therefore it has to be first converted into a utilizable format, so where it can be utilized by other living organisms. So especially nitrogen is converted into ammonia, right, and ammonia is the utilizable format which can be utilized by living organisms including plants, okay. So therefore, so conversion of this is taking place with the help of an enzyme called nitrogenase. So nitrogenase is an enzyme which especially helps to break the bond between the 2 nitrogen atoms, okay, and helps to produce ammonia, and that ammonia can be easily utilized. And this nitrogenase enzyme is present in specific organisms. It's present in some cyanobacteria, which is called as blue-green algae, also present in some bacteria which are the soil bacterium rhizobium, okay. And as you know that this soil bacterium rhizobium makes a symbiotic association with the roots of leguminous plants. Okay, so we have different pulses kind of plants. Okay, so these are called as leguminous plant, and in the roots of those plants, as you can see here, they form nodules. The bacteria form some nodules inside the roots and make a symbiotic association. So in this symbiotic association, the bacteria helps to produce ammonia, okay, so that this ammonium compound can be utilized by the plant, and the plant provides the necessary nutrients for the growth of the bacterium. So therefore it is a symbiotic relationship. So the answer for this one is going to be rhizobium. Let's go to the next question. The wall of intestine is protected by, okay, so the questions are thickness of the wall of the intestine, mucus, water secreted by the intestine, all of the above. So especially the question here that has been asked, okay, that mostly the acids which are secreted, okay, this acid can damage the wall of the intestine, okay, and therefore it requires some base which can neutralize the action of the acids, okay, and therefore the intestine secretes a large amount of mucus so that it will be protected from the action of those acids, okay. So the answer for this question is going to be B, okay. So what does the base does? So it produces, the mucus contains a lot of bicarbonate, and the bicarbonate helps to neutralize the acid that has been there in the intestine so that it will be neutralized. So the mucus is going to be the correct answer for this case. Okay, so let's look at the final question. Okay, the given figure shows the position of few endocrine glands in the human body. Okay, Z, X, Y and W. Okay, these are some glands which have been given at different locations. Okay, and two patients, Rabi and Sohail, recently visited an endocrinologist regarding their health issues. Doctor examined them and prepared a chart shown here to keep a record of their illness. Ravi has a swollen neck and Sohail has large quantities of sugar in the blood and urine. Okay, so swollen neck, and they have visited an endocrinologist. That means it is a issue with respect to their hormonal disorder, and swollen neck as a disease is due to a disease called as goiter. Okay, and large quantities of sugar in the blood and the urine is an indication of hyperglycemia or diabetes. Okay, so let us look at the options which are given so that we can choose the correct option. So refer the given figure and chart and select the correct option. So you will have to find out the correct options from the 4 choices. Okay, so Ravi is suffering from goiter, which is caused due to hypersecretion of a hormone by gland X. So what is gland X? So let's look at gland X. Where is gland X present? Okay, so the gland X is present here. Okay, so this is a thyroid gland which is present at the base of the neck. So Ravi is suffering from goiter, which is caused due to hypersecretion of a hormone by gland X. Yes, this option is correct, because hypersecretion of thyroid hormone will lead to the development of this disease goiter. Okay, so if you look at the next option, okay, Ravi is suffering from creatinism, which is caused due to hypersecretion of hormone by gland Y. So what is Y? So Y is the pancreas. Okay, so if it is, pancreas secretes insulin, and hypersecretion of insulin is not going to cause creatinism. Okay, so this option is incorrect. Option B is incorrect. Sohail is suffering from diabetes, which is caused by hypersecretion of a hormone by gland W. So as we know that pancreas secrete a hormone called insulin, and hypersecretion of insulin helps in the development of diabetes, because the glucose from the blood cannot be absorbed and cannot be converted back into glycogen. Because what does insulin does? So insulin absorbs the glucose so that the glucose can be converted back into glycogen, and then it will be stored in liver. So as there is but the hypersecretion of insulin will cause diabetes. But let us look at the gland W. What is the gland W? Yes, it is not the pancreatic glands, okay, or pancreas, okay. So it is the adrenal gland, which is present just above the kidneys, okay. So this is not the correct option, therefore. Sohail is suffering from diabetes, which is caused by hypersecretion of a hormone by gland Z. So gland Z is present in the pituitary gland. It has been marked to pituitary gland. No, it is not the correct option also. So the correct option therefore is going to be option A. Okay, thank you very much.